they're in Roosevelt territory for the first time all game. As Huff is in the pistol with Stobner behind him. That's number 11. Rolf's in motion. And that's a carry to Stobner, and he breaks a tackle, and he's gone. Dylan Stobner is in for the touchdown, and Aberdeen is on the board. As it's 16-6, and we'll likely see Aberdeen go for 2 now to make it a one-score game. As Aberdeen starting to get pumped up a little bit out there, as they just definitely gained some momentum. And it looks like they will send on they'll send on Tyler Tuigle for the extra point to make it 16-7. And that's big for Aberdeen, as now they'll have the ball. Or not the ball, but they'll kick the extra point to make this a 16-7 game. As Tyler, and the snap is good, PIT looks good, and it is good, and it's 16-7 Aberdeen with 3:29 left to play in the first quarter.
And all of a sudden, we have a game. That is exactly what Aberdeen needed, obviously, and just a great overall drive with some help from the flags, and it's good.
And here's another message from the NFHS network. The debate about high school specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract, but that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field, 19 played in basketball, and some played in baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in South Dakota, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard, always do your best, and you can play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. And the broadcast of this playoff game has been authorized by the special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. With 3:29 remaining in the first quarter, it's Roosevelt 16, Aberdeen 7. Tyler Tuigle is going to kick off a little short kick, and that will be fair caught by number 58, Caleb Paulson. And Roosevelt will start their fourth drive of the game at their own 32-yard line. And Roosevelt, their offense was held last time, but first time they just drove right down the field and were able to score 2 touchdowns, get two-point conversions to make it 16-0. Aberdeen answers with a long touchdown run by Stodner, 16-7. Roosevelt will have the ball at their own 32.
Yeah, and the tides have definitely turned. Well, I wouldn't say that, but there is a little bit more momentum for the Eagles now.
Yeah, as Dannenbrand takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off to Bourne. Bourne goes up the middle. Bourne's going to have a first down all the way up to the 45-yard line. And Roosevelt hasn't ran the ball as much today and hasn't ran it much effectively today, but the passing game has been working. And they still have faith in Jaden Bourne and Tyree Nave to make plays. As Roosevelt goes hurry up to the line, they have 2 receivers to their left, 2 to the right, with Bourne to Dannenbrand's left. They'll hand it off to Bourne again, and Bourne's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8, as Jaden Bourne had a couple dominating performances earlier in the year. Had that let down against O'Gorman, and he's been all right the past few games, and we'll look to get him back on track before the Dome game, and especially against Washington, who Washington has won 6 games in a row to end the year. Started the season 1-2 with losses to Roosevelt and O'Gorman here at Howard Wood Field, and looks like there might be an equipment issue with Jaden Bourne, as the official is looking at his helmet. And I think we're all clear. As Dannenbrand has the ball in the shotgun, Bourne to his right, 2 receivers to his right and left. Dannenbrand takes the snap, looks left. It's caught by Feldkamp. Feldkamp is going to have a big gain all the way up to about the 31-yard line, and Roosevelt will have first down at the 31-yard line as they are into Aberdeen territory, as they've gotten in there every single drive, except maybe last drive they were stopped at the 50, but it's pretty much Aberdeen territory. As they go hurry up again to the line, as Dannenbrand takes a snap and hands it off to Bourne, and Bourne goes back up the middle to the 26, and they're obviously trying to change pace of the offense with Aberdeen, and so far it's worked in this drive, as they're looking to score again for the 3rd time tonight, to make it a 3-score ball game again.
Yeah, and I think running the ball is really wearing the defense out, and doing the hurry up is wearing the defense out also. So, I mean, keep running the ball and then throw a surprise play like a long pass. Definitely work.
Yeah, as Dannenbrain is now in the pistol with Bourne behind him. Dannenbrain does the option again, tosses it to Bourne. Bourne cuts back to the outside, cuts back in, and Bourne is all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's a 14-yard carry by Jaden Bourne, as he had a 17-yard touchdown earlier. As Bourne has had a couple pitches to the outside, as that's the second time Roosevelt's run the option. The first time it went for a touchdown. 140 left in the first quarter. It's Roosevelt 16, Aberdeen 7. Another option play, another toss to Jaden Bourne, and Aberdeen read that perfectly. That was Stabner, who had the long touchdown run last offensive drive. He read that perfectly, and he stuffs Jaden Bourne for about a three-yard loss back to the 15-yard line. Second and 13 for Roosevelt from Aberdeen 15-yard line. As Dannenbrain is in the shotgun with Bourne to his right, Caden Jordan and Jacob Betancourt to the right, and Feldkamp and Paulson to the left. Dannenbrain takes the snap, looks end zone. It is incomplete, out of the reach of Caden Jordan, and it'll be 3rd and long for Roosevelt from the Aberdeen 15-yard line. We've seen Roosevelt take a few shots downfield. One was on the first play of the game to Mike Paulson, and it ended up going 92 yards to the house to put Roosevelt on the board right away.
Yeah, well, I feel like if they keep on doing plays like that, I think they'll score it, because they've been running the ball so much. And they won't quit running the ball. It's just that if they just sprinkle these little long passes in there, I think they will score on those long passes.
Yeah, as it's 3rd and 13 for Roosevelt. They're just looking to get the first down here, even though first down is almost end zone here, as the first down is at the 2-yard line. As Dannenbrain is on the shotgun with Bourne to his right, Caden Jordan and Jacob Betancourt to his right, and Feldkamp and Paulson to his left. And it's 3rd and 13. Roosevelt needs a long conversion here. Feldkamp in motion. They'll give it to him. Hurdles a man and cuts back, stutters, and he is down to the 1-yard line, but there's a flag back in the backfield. And they'll likely get Roosevelt for a hold here, and that'll make it 3rd and 23 from the 25-yard line, as they'll just look to get part of it back, and we'll hear from the call to make sure. So that was a face mask on the Aberdeen Central, and they also got a sideline warning. Next time it'll be a penalty. And it's 1st and goal for Roosevelt from inside the 1, and they might just pound it in to Jaden Bourne here, as Jaden Bourne is stuffed in the backfield, as that's going to be a loss of about 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. And Roosevelt needs to score a touchdown here. They can't have a field goal when it's 1st down from inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah. Looks like Jaden Bourne might be a little shook up. He was kind of slow to get up. They'll get it right back to the line.
And Roosevelt probably passed the ball here as he has Feldkamp on the slot to the right, and Paulson to his right, and Betancourt to his left. It's in the pistol. There's another option, and Aberdeen read it perfectly again. And that's going to be a loss of about 6, all the way back to the 9-yard line. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd and goal, and it was 1st and goal inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's just a terrible mistake. They've been running that option all game long. It's only worked probably 2 times out of the 5 times they've done it. They need to think of something new. Like I said, add a variety in there. And that will be the end of the quarter.
End of the first quarter. It is Roosevelt 16, Aberdeen 7. We'll be right back in a moment. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN Sports Replay and the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of the 2018 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs on the KLRN Sports Replay in the high school, or in the NFHS network. My name is Brent Bowen, and I am joined by Austin Merrow. Tonight's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. You can watch this game anytime on the Howard Field YouTube channel. As Roosevelt has the ball, 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line, 16-7, Roosevelt with the lead. As Aberdeen showing blitz, as Dan Aberdeen trips to his right and pulls into his left with Bourne in the backfield. Dan Aberdeen takes the snap. He's looking to Feldkamp. Feldkamp drops the ball. He was wide open, would have been an easy touchdown. The throw is a little behind Feldkamp as Feldkamp showed that to Dan Aberdeen, and we'll see what the Riders do. And they will send out the field goal unit to try and get 3 points on the board. Feldkamp was wide open and was going to have a walk-in touchdown, and Roosevelt would have had a 2-touchdown lead. But Feldkamp dropped the ball. Throw was a little behind him, but still a ball that should have been caught by Tyler Feldkamp.
Yeah, and Roosevelt's going to be very disappointed about not getting a touchdown. They'll get the field goal, put some points on the board, but really wanted that touchdown.
And here's the kick from Bennett Yellowbird. High snap. Good hold, though, and Bennett Yellowbird puts it right through, and the Riders get 3 points out of that drive, and it is 19-7 Roosevelt with 11:52 left in the second quarter. Roosevelt definitely didn't want a field goal out of that. They wanted to score a touchdown because he was 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line. But, hey, Roosevelt took points. Points are points, and now Aberdeen, after that long touchdown run by Dylan Stobner, we'll see what they can do next drive. See if they can score again. 19-14 game. This is still a game at 19-7. If Aberdeen can take this going into halftime, considering they gave up a 92-yard touchdown and a long drive down the field, 19-7 wouldn't be too bad for them at halftime. As Roosevelt now is trying to pin back Aberdeen inside their own 20-yard line. 11:52 remaining as Vance Borchers will kick off for the third time tonight. Third time tonight. As they'll put back, as Aberdeen Central will put back Chris Weber to receive the kick. As Borchers is ready to send it off to the Golden Eagles special teams, and he kicks it off. It's a good kick, and there's a little bobbled snap, and that's number 33, Jacob Moore, and he swallowed all the way up at the 15-yard line, or 16-yard line. That's where Aberdeen will start their drive, coming off a nice drive that ended up in about a 40-yard touchdown run by Stobner. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 16-yard line, with Huff coming back in. After a long drive, we'll try and do the same thing and put more points up on the board, even just a field goal, anything. They'd just like to get more points up on the board and make this a closer game.
Yeah, they need to get some points up on the board. Anything is a good thing for them right now.
As Huff is in the I formation with the fullback Stobner, and then a running back Weber. Takes a snap, he hands it off to Weber. Excuse me, that might be Carter Hogg there on the carry, but anyways, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Aberdeen's rushing game hasn't been going well other than that one rushing touchdown, as the pressure's been kind of put on Huff, and he's taken a couple shots downfield. Not really many have been complete, but he did have a pass interference on one, which ended up being a big penalty, and then a couple plays later, Stobner ran it all the way for a touchdown. As Huff is going to be in the I formation again, he's going to have one receiver to his right and left, with Hogg behind him. Roosevelt showing blitz. Maybe a little early movement. Huff scrambles to his left, and he gets it away, and that ball is complete to Jackson Ross, and it'll be 3rd and 2 for the Golden Eagles from their own 24-yard line. As 3rd and short, you like to convert these, and there might be a flag at the 19-yard line. We'll check with the call. as that was an illegal shift penalty on the Eagles, and that's a bad penalty. As now it's 2nd and 15 from the 11-yard line. It was going to be 3rd and 2 from the 24. Those are the penalties that you can't have if you're the Golden Eagles already coming in as big underdogs. And looks like we have a timeout by Aberdeen. It'll be their first of the half. They will still have 2 remaining. 10:54 left in the second quarter. It's Roosevelt 19, Aberdeen 7. And here's an advertisement from the NFHS network. Why do teenagers play high school sports? My reason why is a sense of purpose. My reason why is to inspire others. One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So why do they play? My reason why is friendship. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy. This message is presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association. The broadcast of this playoff game has been authorized by the special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. 10:54 left in the second quarter. Aberdeen just used their first time out of the second quarter, and they have 2nd and 15 from the 11, as it's 19-7 Roosevelt. Roosevelt, winner of this, will move on, and will play the next game at Howard Wood Field, unless Aberdeen and Watertown both win, then the game will be played at Watertown. Hava has a running back to his right and left. And there's a flag on the play. He's going to be sacked in the end zone, and that's going to be a safety. There's a flag, but it looks like it's going to be a hold on Aberdeen Central that Roosevelt will just likely decline and take the safety. And another illegal shift penalty on the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles, and Roosevelt sacked Huff in the end zone, and Huff has just got to know to scramble and get rid of the ball or just throw it to some receiver because he's in the end zone. Roosevelt does a smart thing, declines the penalty. Aberdeen will have to punt and give Roosevelt the ball back. It's 21-7 Roosevelt, 10:50 remaining in the second quarter. We will be back in a moment. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN and the NFHS network. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of the 2018 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs on KLRN and the NFHS Network. My name is Brent Bowen, and I am joined by Austin Merrow. Tonight's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. You can watch this game anytime on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel. Aberdeen coming off a safety after a drive where they had a long drive that ended in a stop and a touchdown run. It's 21-7 Roosevelt with 10:50 remaining in the second quarter. Feldkamp is back to receive the ball at about the 33-yard line, and Roosevelt will likely get good field position up to the safety to possibly score a touchdown here. As Tuigo kicks the ball away. And we have a flag here. It's some false starts or offsides on the kicking team. We don't see that. Yeah, it's offsides. And we'll hear the call. And now Aberdeen Central will get backed up to the 15-yard line, and penalties have killed them so far in this game, as now we don't see offsides on the kicking team too often, but we just saw it there, and now that backs them up all the way to the 15-yard line. Now Feldkamp is back to receive the ball at the 46-yard line. Roosevelt clearly getting some good field position here already. As Tuigo ready to kick it off. And he boots at the Feldkamp, who has to back up for it, but he will field it at about the 38. Feldkamp gets some blocks to the right side. Feldkamp cuts back towards the middle of the field. Tyler Feldkamp all the way up to the 26-yard line, and Roosevelt, 27-yard line. Roosevelt by far will get their best field position of the game.
Yeah, and this is a big blow to the Eagles. They definitely didn't want to give the ball up, plus give Roosevelt 2 points with that safety. So they'll need to definitely hold them back for maybe not letting them get in a field goal. Most likely Roosevelt's going to get a field goal or better. So they need to do something on defense.
As Dannebryn takes a snap, and he's looking, he had Jaden Bourne open in the flat, but Dannebryn will keep it for about a 2-yard gain up to the 27. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Roosevelt. We've seen a lot of the quarterback runs from Dannebryn so far. We didn't see that a lot at the beginning of the season. So that's a good way to get Dannebryn rolling and then get him some throws on the run and have the QB option. They tried the running back option with the pitch, but that Aberdeen has read that perfectly in this game so far.
Yeah, and Roosevelt's really stuck to that play, and they need to get away from it, and they do it again here.
And there's the option to Jaden Bourne. That it worked this time. And
yeah.
He goes all the way up to the 13-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain and a Roosevelt first down as they are now in the red zone. 10:02 left in the second quarter. It's Roosevelt 21, Aberdeen 7. Roosevelt now driving at the 13-yard line, looking to score their 3rd touchdown of the game. Dannebryn in the shotgun, Bourne to his right. 2 receivers to his left and right. Dannebryn takes the snap, hands it off to Bourne up the middle. Jaden Bourne rustles his way down to the 5-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 2 for Roosevelt from the 5-yard line. As Roosevelt looked to pound it in this time, as last time they had to settle for a field goal after the ball was at the 1-yard line. But a couple runs that went for negative yards and then a complete pass as they give it to Bourne again. Bourne up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, Roosevelt. 5-yard run by Jaden Bourne, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and it's 27-7 Roosevelt with 9:34 left in the second quarter. And here comes Bennett Yellowbird for the extra point.
Well, yeah, just pure dominance on the Roosevelt side there, making sure they get the touchdown. And on the Golden Eagle side, didn't do much, and that's just a big blow, and they just need to figure something out on defense. As soon as they do that, they will be fine, but right now, Roosevelt's just too strong, and the kick was almost deflected. I think it's no good.
It was wide to the right, as Bennett Yellowbird has been pretty good for extra points this year. That's probably the 2nd extra point I've seen him miss. With 9:34 left in the second quarter, it's Roosevelt 27, Aberdeen 7. We'll be right back in a moment. You are watching Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN Sports Replay and the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of the 2018 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs in the NFHS Network, or on KLRN and the NFHS Network. 9:34 left in the second quarter. It's Roosevelt 27, Aberdeen 7. Vance Fortress is ready to kick off. The Howard team has Weber and Moore back to receive the kick. Roosevelt will look for another stop on defense as Fortress is ready to kick it away, and he boots it off to about the inside the 10-yard line as Moore will receive it. Moore cuts to the left. Moore's got a hole. Moore cuts back to the right side. Moore is inside the 50. Moore still running. Moore is all the way down inside the 20 and finally brought down at the 13-yard line. Jacob Moore with the long return that sets up the Golden Eagles at the Roosevelt 15-yard line, already inside the red zone after the kickoff. As a short field for Aberdeen is really what they needed, as Roosevelt looked like they had the momentum coming right back out their side.
Yeah, just great. Yeah.
1st and 10 for Aberdeen from the Roosevelt 15-yard line. Best field position of the night so far for both teams, as Aberdeen needs to answer back now. They only have to go 15 yards, as worse they can settle for a 2-eagle field goal, but they'd rather not. They'd rather punch it in, as Huff is in the pistol is stopping it behind him. That's Rolfs in motion, and they might call a false start. That's a delayed game on Aberdeen, as you can't have those. That's just a silly penalty that should not be happening in delayed games. You don't necessarily need to use a timeout, as I personally don't like it when teams use a timeout on delayed game, take the 5-yard penalty, and especially in second halves when you might need them to call timeouts to stop the clock. Those 5 yards aren't going to matter, as Huff is in the pistol with Rolfs in motion. He looks deep to Rolfs. Rolfs makes the catch down to the 10-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain from Huff to Rolfs, and it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line, as Aberdeen's starting to throw the ball a little more, as they moved the ball a lot better on offense in the end of the first quarter and second quarter than they did the whole first quarter.
Looking like Rolfs might be have a left shoulder injury here as he goes off the field after that play. But yes, a very good play there by the Golden Eagles. If they get this pass game going, they'll definitely get some points on the board. And here we go. Run. Heavy hit there at the end, but he still gets about 7 yards there on the run.
As it'll be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, as Stobner on the carry. And Aberdeen will now look to punch it in and make this a 2-score game again. 8:40 left in the second quarter. It's 27-7 Roosevelt with Aberdeen. Aberdeen has the ball, 1st down and goal at the 3-yard line. Huff is in the pistol, takes the snap to Stobner. Stobner is going to be stuffed, and a second effort brings him down to the 1-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 1-yard line, as Stobner's been the main back and has been playing well today for this Golden Eagle offense.
Yeah, he's been doing so good all game. He's been getting the blocks for the most part. They just need the penalties have been against them, and that's definitely hurt the team. But as soon as they stop getting all these penalties, I feel like they'll start putting scores up on the board.
Yeah, as this game is not over yet, as people thought this game would be a blowout. It's a 20-point game. It might be a 13-point game, as looks like we got a timeout by Aberdeen. And Aberdeen will use their 2nd timeout of the half, and with 7:48 left in the second quarter, it's Roosevelt 27, Aberdeen 7. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN Sports and the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of the 2018 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs on KLRN Sports and the NFHS Network. With 7:48 left in the second quarter, it's 27-7 as Hogs runs it in for the Aberdeen touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run for the Golden Eagles, and it is 27-13 as Aberdeen is right back in this game, making it a 2-score game, as Aberdeen was shut out 30-0 by the Peer Governors last week. Offense not doing much. We've already got 2 touchdowns, one and a half quarters through this game, as 2 Eagles on to attempt the extra point to make this a 13-point game instead of a 14-point game. As the snap's good, the hole's good, and the kick is good, just snuck through the left upright, and it is 27-14 Roosevelt, with 7:48 left to go in the first half. As now we have another message from the NFHS Network. My reason why is community. My reason why is leadership. My reason why is to inspire others. Why do thousands of teenagers here in South Dakota participate in high school sports and activities? My reason why is friendship. The reasons are as diverse as students themselves. but the one thing they all share in the opportunity is to have fun and learn important life lessons. Lessons like supporting their community, learning how to be a leader and building lifelong friendships. My reason why is defying expectations. Is there a grade school or middle school student in your family? Then encourage them to participate in a sport activity when they go to high school. My reason why is to make a change in the world. This message is presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association. 7:48 left in the first half. 27-14 Roosevelt over Aberdeen. As Tyler Two-Eagle will kick off to Tyler Feldkamp, who is standing at the 21-yard line. As it looks like it might be trying for an onside kick now. Kind of a strange call. In the 7:48, and Kim Nelson's going to use a timeout to change his formation up. Definitely, you don't want to use a timeout on that, but don't want to give Aberdeen the ball back with a lot of momentum to make it a one-score game, as they'll set up differently. As in these situations, some teams would now maybe try and fake them out and just now kick it deep. So you basically just wasted a timeout for formation.
Right, and I mean, you kind of need to make that timeout, but at the same time, it's kind of a waste of a timeout. You could have used that timeout on trying to get your touchdown. So it's going to hurt us a little bit, but they will get back out there and try to get some plays.
Yeah, this Aberdeen then at the start of the game, there was Roosevelt just seemed like they were dominated at every point of this game, as Jaden Bourne is back deep in case they decide to kick deep, but it still looks like they're going for the onside kick. Still a really strange decision in my opinion. Well, here's the onside kick by Two-Eagle. And he'll kick it deep, but maybe the ball will go out of bounds, and it will, and that's going to be a flag. And Roosevelt will get the ball at the 40-yard line, as kind of a strange decision, as it looked like they're maybe going to try and catch Roosevelt in between letting it go out of bounds or something, and then them recovering it, and it doesn't. But anyways, it's going to be a penalty, as we'll hear the call. And that's a free kick out of bounds penalty on Aberdeen, what we expected to. And Roosevelt will get the ball at their own 39-yard line to try and make this a 3-score game again, as Dannebrand does the option to Tyree Nave, and he's going to be wrapped up beyond the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about 3 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and 13. Jaden Bourne has ran pretty well, but Tyree Nave's been stopped to negative rushing yards, as he's had 3 carries for negative 4 yards, I believe, and it's 2nd and 13 from their own 36-yard line. As this is almost a must-pass for Roosevelt here to get this to a 3rd and manageable. He's got Tyree Nave to his right, 2 receivers to his left, and 2 receivers to his right. Dannebrand in the shotgun. Dannebrand takes the snap. He's got some protection. There's going to be a flag. That ball's caught by Paulson. There goes Paulson past the 45 down to the 42. That's going to be called back, though. This was a hold at the line of scrimmage, and that's what it looks like it will be. As it'll be 2nd and 23 now, back at their own 26-yard line. We'll hear the call. And that was a hold there on the Roosevelt offensive line, and it'll be 2nd and 29 back at the 20-yard line, as Roosevelt just needs to get half these back here. That's just a killer penalty and just to stop a drive. Dannebrand looks back to the sideline. This is the shotgun with 2 to his right and left, with Nave to his left as well. Dana bringing in the shotgun. There's 9 seconds left on the play clock. Now Nave has moved behind him with Feldkamp in motion. Play action. That ball's caught by Caden Jordan, and Caden Jordan will run up to about the 32. And it'll be 3rd and 17 for the Rough Riders from their own 32-yard line. As we expect now, 3rd and 17, just to take a shot downfield and hope that you can get a completion. At least throw it to the first down marker, and don't try and just run a little screen play. Just try and get the first down here by shooting the ball downfield. To receivers to the right and left. Danabrain will throw it to Paulson, and it's over his head. And the Golden Eagles get a big stop, and now they'll have the ball back with 6:38 left as it's 27-14. That's a big stop for the Aberdeen defense.
A very big stop for the Eagle defense, and they'll get this ball back. They'll need it. Well, if they score, they're within 1 score. We thought this was going to be a blowout, but ladies and gents, we have a game.
Yeah, as Dylan McManus is back to punt the ball. It's a little high snap, but McManus will punt it off. It's a high punt. It will roll out of bounds, and let's see where the official spots it. I'll run it all the way down to the 48-yard line, as that's only a 16-yard punt by Devlin McManus, and Aberdeen will start their drive at the Roosevelt 48-yard line. As last drive, they had really good field position at the 15-yard line after the more long punt return. And Aberdeen set up pretty well again here with Huff and 2 running backs to his left and right. Set up at the 48-yard line, and it's looking like Aberdeen could go on another good drive as Huff he's got pressure behind him, and he's sacked. That's a big sack by Kusler, and he's all the way back to the 41-yard line, a loss of 11 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 21. Or they'll mark him at the 42. It'll be 2nd and 20, and that's what Roosevelt needed. Pin him back, hopefully get the stop, get the ball back, and get up by 3 touchdowns again.
Yeah, and there was a glimpse of hope for the Eagles, and then the sack. They can still pull off something, but they can't be. They have to do these quick plays to throw the defense off.
And a little wildcat here as Carter Hogg is the quarterback, and Carter Hogg is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and a country mile from the 41-yard line. It's 3rd and 21. Aberdeen will probably take a shot downfield. As just like Roosevelt, they had to go a long, long ways just because of a big penalty. And for them, it was a big sack. For Aberdeen, it was a big sack, but for Roosevelt, it was a big holding penalty. That brought him back, and now Roosevelt is one stop away from getting the ball right back, as there's a high snap, and the Riders are going to all chase it, and all what they can do, and it's still loose. The ball is picked up by Kusler. Scoop and score for the Riders, and they have a 3-score game. A disaster by Aberdeen, as all they needed to do is just fall on it to punt the ball away. It would have been 4th and about 50, but Roosevelt gets the scoop and score, and they're going to send it on Yellowbird for the extra point. But a disaster for Aberdeen. They could have just given Roosevelt the ball at about the 50, and that's better than giving them a touchdown. But 33-14, 5:44. Yellowbird is on to kick the extra point. He missed his last one wide right. It was a little high snap, as Matty Yellowbird will look to hit this one, as that one is up, and it got tipped at the line of scrimmage, but I believe it went through. Yes, it did. With 5:44 left to play, it is Sioux Falls Roosevelt 34, Aberdeen 14. We'll be back in a moment. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN and the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of the 2018 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs in the KLRN and the NFHS. 5:44 left, Roosevelt 34, Aberdeen 14 as the kickoff is returned only to about the 16-yard line, and Aberdeen's going to have some of its worst field possession of the game and exactly at the worst time that you wanted, as Aberdeen would like to score here before halftime and get a defensive stop, as they don't want to be down 3 scores at halftime. Aberdeen does get the ball the second half, so a score here would be huge, and then maybe start the second half to make it a one-possession game.
Yeah, well, they'll definitely have to figure something out on the offensive side. The last time on offense didn't go so well, obviously, but they just need to figure something out. And as soon as they figure something out, I feel like they'll get some momentum and just start going. But the trick is figuring something out.
Yeah, as now Huff is in the pistol with Stobner behind him. Takes the snap, hands it to Stobner, cuts to the left side. Stobner at the speed gets about 2 yards to the 18. As Roosevelt swallowed that play quickly, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for Aberdeen Central. As Aberdeen coming in the 8th seed, they have nothing to lose, and that can be the danger of this sometimes. You have really nothing to lose. You be in the 8th seed, as you just come out and play hard. You never know. As Aberdeen has made this a somewhat decent game. It's 34-14 with 5 minutes remaining. 2nd and 8 for Aberdeen for Huff in the I formation with Stobner behind him. Huff takes the snap, play action, looks downfield. He's got pressure coming at him, and he will dump it off to Stobner, and he was hit hard by 21 Nathan Moon, as it'll be 3rd and 8 for Aberdeen, as Huff was in a lot of trouble, and that was a good hit there by Nathan Moon to set up a 3rd down and long for the Aberdeen Eagles.
Yeah, there was just nothing there the whole time. The defense for Roosevelt has just sniffed everything out so far. But the Eagles, they just really haven't been able to have a stable offense all game. I mean, once in a while they'd get a good play and a good flag for them. But they just really haven't been able to figure out anything, Brent.
Yeah, now it's 3rd and 8 from the 18. Huff looks downfield, and he's got a man open. It is caught by Weber down to the 46-yard line. A big play for the Eagles, as we just saw the speed of Chris Weber, and 1st down for Aberdeen into Roosevelt territory, and that's that's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen them take the shot downfield. But it's the first time it's been successful.
Well, this is the thing that the Eagles needed, something to build off of, something to just get going. And obviously a very good pass, a very good catch. I don't know, this could lead up to a touchdown or a field goal. A field goal is big right now for them, so they just need to find something just to build off of. And right now they got something to build off of.
As Huff takes a snap, looks downfield again to Weber. As Joey Hughes, they might throw a flag there, and they will call it incomplete. As Joey Hughes didn't really turn around, but they didn't see enough contact to throw the flag there. And it'll be 2nd and 10, as Aberdeen is taking back-to-back shots to Weber down the field. First one was complete for a big gain. Second one was incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. As Roosevelt has had good defense all year, their defense has been all right today. Started off really well. They have a defensive touchdown from Kusler, as Huff is now in the shotgun with a running back to his right and left. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Huff throws it off, and it's almost intercepted, and there's a flag, as Weber was pushed down there by Kusler or Feldkamp, one of the two. And they're going to get Roosevelt on a pass interference here. We'll hear the call. First down Aberdeen at the 31-yard line after the pass interference on Kusler. As Huff is in the pistol with Stobner behind him, 1 receiver to his right and left. as Huff takes the snap, looks downfield again, as that ball's way underthrown as it was intended to Mekhi Jones. First time he's targeted him in this game, that was way short. And it'll fall incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line, as Aberdeen has not been afraid to take some shots downfield, as they've taken a lot of them in this drive.
Yeah, and some have worked, some haven't. But, I think here they might start thinking about throwing a screen or maybe even running it, just throw something in the mix. But they might stick with the medium to long-range passes here.
Yeah, as Huff is now in the I formation with Stobner behind him again. He's in the lead back, and he's pressured. That ball is tipped and incomplete. He was going for Stobner, and it'll be 3rd and long for Aberdeen from the 31-yard line. This is probably 4th down territory in a possession that they need to score in. It's 3rd and 10 from the 31-yard line. As Huff might look downfield again to try and get another long conversion on 3rd and long. As Tuigo, we saw he has a pretty decent leg. Maybe he could kick one from here, but they're not looking for a field goal because it still stays a 3-possession game.
I wouldn't risk it because that Roosevelt offense, if they get the ball with that halfway decent field position, they would take it down the field pretty far. But it doesn't look.
There's a handoff to Stobner down to the 25. Interesting call. They probably ran the ball to go for it then, just to get some yards back and not make it so long. It'll be 4th and 5 from the 26. And no question, Aberdeen's going to go for this. They might take a timeout. Isaac Gorin made the tackle there. It's 4th and 5, and not a must convert, but they need to convert here to keep this drive alive, as they're hurrying up the line a little bit, as Huff is in the I formation with Stobner again behind him. As Huff looks towards the sideline, and Aberdeen's going to use their timeout. As Coach Krantz didn't like what he saw and uses his final timeout, as Aberdeen is out for the half. And 3:15 left to go in the first half. It's Roosevelt 34, Aberdeen 14. We'll be back in a moment. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central and KLRN Sports Replay and the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of high school football. 3 minutes left. It is 34-14 Roosevelt, and that ball is incomplete. That ball was almost intercepted, and that was a good thing for Roosevelt, as unless he would have been able to start returning that, but he was stepped out of bounds. So that was a good thing for Roosevelt, as they'll have better field position, as they will take over on downs from their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, and they'll be in pretty decent field position. Maybe be able to score, but we'll see what they do on offense. Great job on defense.
Yeah, now Dannenbrink in the offense has 3 minutes to go down the field and score again before halftime, as he has Bourne to his right, 2 receivers to his right and left. He looks left, he's going to try and run, and he's sacked, and the ball is loose, and it looks like Aberdeen got it. We'll see it, but it looked like there was some eagle that jumped on it. And Roosevelt will maintain the football. Very lucky there, as Dannenbrink was stripped from behind. And it looked like Aberdeen fell in that ball, but Roosevelt did end up getting the ball, and they will maintain possession. 2nd and 14 from their own 21-yard line. Clock will remain to run under 2:45, possibly even 2:30 by the next snap. As Dannenbrink is in the shotgun with Bourne to his right, 2 receivers to his right and left. Dannenbrink takes the snap, looks left, and he completes the fell camp, breaks a tackle cuts back to the 39-yard line. That's enough for a Roosevelt first down, 18 yards from Dana Brain to Tyler Feldkamp. And that's a Roosevelt first down, as Feldkamp has been busy. He's looked at him a lot in this game, as all year he's been their main number one target for Dana Brain this season. First and 10 from their own 39-yard line. He has two receivers to his right and left, and Jaden Bourne to his right. Dana Brain is in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks left again towards Mike Paulson, who makes it. He dropped it. He was wide open. Dana Brain made a good throw as the ball just went through Mike Paulson's hands. And it'll be second and 10 from the 39-yard line. And Roosevelt's wide receivers have been pretty good this year, as especially with Feldkamp. Feldkamp dropped a touchdown earlier in this game, as that could be added 4 more points to be 38-14 instead of 34-14.
Yeah, this could be a bigger blowout right now. Handoff.
There's a carry to Bourne. Bourne rides a man all the way down to the 48.5, and it'll be third and about half a yard for Roosevelt, as they'll probably just pound it up the middle. Under 2 minutes remaining. Roosevelt still has two timeouts left if they need to use them. Roosevelt's going to hurry up to the line with two receivers to their right and left. Dana Brain takes a snap. They will throw. He looks to Paulson, who is too tall for him, and third and really short. Roosevelt will probably go for this right now. Fourth and about a half a yard. Might just pound it up, and it looks like they will bring out. Well, Dana Brain's going to come off the field, but it looks like they're going to bring out Kusler, probably just to run the ball again. Unless they do a pooch punt, as we see that every once in a while. It's fourth down. Kusler at the quarterback is likely just going to run it. They have Joyata and Devontae Murphy in there as blockers. Kusler runs it to the right. Kusler breaks a tackle and he's loose. Aaron Kusler's running all the way. Touchdown, Roosevelt, 48 yards when they only needed a half a yard, and the Riders have already broke 40 in the first half. It's 40-14, Roosevelt, 134 remaining in the first half. We've seen a lot of that this year, the power run with Aaron Kusler, and they do it again, and he just runs all the way, and so far Roosevelt just went all over this Aberdeen defense.
Perfectly executed, perfect blocks, left a wide open hole for Kusler, and just put it in the end zone. This is becoming a little bit more like a blowout. Will Aberdeen figure something out during their break, during halftime? We'll see.
As Bennett Yellowbird puts the extra point right through, and 1:34 left. It's Roosevelt 41, Aberdeen 14. We'll be back in a moment. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KL Run Sports and NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of high school football on KLR and NFHS. My name is Brent Bowen and I am joined by Austin Merrill. Tonight's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. You can also watch this game anytime on the Howard Field YouTube channel. With 1:34 left in the first half, Roosevelt leads Aberdeen 41-14 in a game where Aberdeen's had a couple good drives and a long punt return, but Roosevelt has dominated this game on offense as Vance Borchers kicks it off on a little squib kick. Ball is fielded, had a trouble fielding by Chris Weber, who had no, he wasn't. Yeah, it was Chris Weber that had that long kick return. Or no, that was Moore. But Chris Weber returns that out to the 16-yard line. It was the long pass that Chris Weber had. 1:27 left for Aberdeen. No timeouts to go down the field. 1:27 and no timeouts in high school. You get the clock stopped for a little bit if you get the first down, but very unlikely to just go 84 yards to score a touchdown before the half. We'll see if Aberdeen will sit on it and just not let Roosevelt score again, or if they'll maybe try and push it, score a touchdown or a field goal before halftime. As Huff is in the I formation and there's a bobble snap. That ball is handed off to Carter Hogg. Carter Hogg only gained about 2 yards, and after this, we'll maybe see if Roosevelt will use some timeouts to try and get the ball back and maybe take a couple shots downfield to try and score again before halftime. We'll see. Right now, they're not going to use a timeout. They only have 2 remaining. We assume Aberdeen will snap it till under a minute left, or Roosevelt will at least make Aberdeen punt to hopefully maybe get a long punt return by Phil Camp, and then either a field goal or a long touchdown, or we'll see. Many things could happen. As Huff is in the eye again, he'll hand it off to Hogg again. Hogg is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see if Kim Nelson uses a timeout, and he will, as he uses his second timeout, and Roosevelt one left with 44 seconds remaining. And there could be many things that could happen. Aberdeen could break a long run. It'll be third down and about 7. Yeah, third down 7. Roosevelt gets the ball back, a possible long punt return by Phil Camp, and they could get the ball back easily. 1 timeout left, assuming that Aberdeen will run it again and Roosevelt will use their final timeout. They'll get the ball back with about 35 seconds left to probably only go about 40 yards. Take some shots, and try and get out of bounds, maybe even a field goal. Just 3 points is better than none.
Looking at the Eagles side, let's say they do get a good run or a good pass here. They're going to hurry it up after that and then try to at least get a field goal. Maybe, actually, I should say, get a field goal. But we'll see what happens. This is going to be interesting.
And it'll be third and 7 for Aberdeen. Will probably be a run, and if it's a pass, that's good for Roosevelt, unless it's complete for a first down. But if it's incomplete, I'd give Roosevelt a timeout, basically. Give them a timeout to go down the field with, as it is third down. And they're just going to run a screen. Ball's caught, and he's tackled short, and that ball, he's out of bounds. He got forced out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. That's big. Roosevelt will save their timeout for this drive and a possible shot to score, get on the board again, and put up a possible 48 points before halftime, which would put them on pace to have 96 points, which I've seen 100. A few weeks ago in Iowa, there was 108 points scored in a high school football game. It's like 108 to 90 something. Never seen a game like that. But Tuigo will punt the ball to Feldkamp. Feldkamp is standing around the 45-yard line. Feldkamp will try to get a good return to set up Roosevelt good for field position. As a little high snap, Tuigo has a low punt, and that ball will roll out of bounds. And then it won't roll out of bounds. It'll stop at about the 45-yard line, and 28 seconds left. Roosevelt has 1 timeout, so maybe a few shots downfield. Never know what could happen. And you go 55 yards, even just to get in the Hail Mary range. Just throw up a ball in the end zone. Don't know if Danbury probably can't throw this far, but who knows? Maybe he can. Probably get about to the other 45-yard line to have a possible chance at him reaching the end zone. You got to give him a lot of time. He has 2 receivers to his right and left, with Jaden Bourne to his right. As Danbury takes the snap, and he's gonna look up the middle. The ball is almost intercepted. Miscommunication there by Aberdeen, by Hunter Lemmer and Colton Hansen, as that ball should have been intercepted. It's high for Feldkamp, and both of them were like right there, had a shot to make an interception. Both of them were thinking the other one were going to catch it. Big mistake by the Eagles, as they gave Roosevelt a new life with 22 seconds left. It's 41-14, 2nd and 10. As Paulson and Feldkamp are going to switch sides with Betancourt and Jordan. And Bourne will go to the left side. As Danbury takes the snap, he's going to look downfield to Betancourt, and that ball's way underthrown by Danbury, and it'll be 3rd and 10 with 16 seconds remaining. Roosevelt probably won't go for it on 4th down, just to not give Aberdeen another chance with the ball at the 45-yard line. Probably just punt it away. 3rd and 10 from the 45-yard line. Roosevelt has 1 timeout left. They got to remember that. Aberdeen has no timeouts left. They cannot stop the clock one more time. Dannebrain in the shotgun. Dannebrain takes a snap. Dannebrain, maybe, yeah, there's a hold there on Coles. Dannebrain's going to throw it. That ball's caught by Paulson, and there's going to be a flag in the back. That's going to be on Coles. That's going to be on Sam Coles there. On a hold in the backfield, we'll hear the call. And that is Sam Coles on the holding penalty there. It'll be third and a long ways. It'll be 3rd and 25. Roosevelt will probably just try and get part of these back now. Maybe probably just take one more shot downfield. You don't want to go for it on 4th down because they might even give them a shot to kick a ball from here. They're going to hand it off to Jaden Bourne. Jaden Bourne will get some of these back. Maybe Kim Nelson needs a timeout. Yes, he will use a timeout. He will not use his final timeout, and that'll take us to halftime. And interesting decision, as you can see Feldkamp waving his arms, wondering why he didn't call a time. Well, the referees are now discussing at about the 49-yard line. There's players running to the locker room, and that'll take us to the end of the first half. Roosevelt 41, Aberdeen 14 at halftime. We'll be back. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN Sports and the NFHS replay or network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of the 2018 South Dakota High School Football Playoffs on KLRN and the NFHS Network. My name is Brent Bowen, and I'm joined by Austin Merrow. Tonight's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. You can also watch this game anytime on the Howard Field YouTube channel. Aberdeen Central will start off the second half with the ball, down 41-14 to the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Roosevelt started off the game in the first play, had a 92-yard touchdown from Brady Dannenbrin to Mike Paulson. Jaden Bourne had 2 touchdowns in the first half, including a 17-yarder in the first quarter to put Roosevelt up 15-0. Dylan Stobner had a 43-yard run to put Aberdeen on the board to make it 16-7. The Roosevelt Rough Riders forced a safety when Austin Huff dropped back and kept running back, and then got sacked for a safety, and then there was a wild snap, and it went all the way back to the 20-yard line. Would have been 4th down in a really long ways, and Roosevelt had a scoop and score. Kusler had a 52-yard touchdown run to cap off the scoring in the first half. 41-14, Vance Fortress will kick off the Eagles to start the second half, as they weren't able to do a whole lot in the first half offensively other than a couple big plays. Roosevelt had many big plays in that first half, and they just kept mowing down this defense and scored a lot as Borchers kicks it off, and Moore will field it, and he will cut back towards the middle of the field, cut back to the outside, and will go and get knocked down at about the 33-yard line. And Aberdeen has been really good on special teams in this game. They've had one really long return all the way out to the 15-yard line, which they scored, and they've had a lot of good returns in this football game in the first half, and now a pretty decent return to start the second half now, as Huff will have 1st down and 10 from the 33-yard line. And this Aberdeen offense passing game struggled a little bit in the first half, only 63 passing yards in the first half. And Stobner had one big run, otherwise didn't do a whole lot in the first half, as Huff is in the pistol with Stobner in his back. There's a pitch to Stobner, and gets back to about the line of scrimmage. There's a flag, and it's probably going to be a hold in the backfield on the Aberdeen offensive line. And penalties have been a big key in this game, as there's been a lot of them on the Aberdeen Eagles so far in this game.
Yeah, it has really hurt them. They could probably be around 20 points right now if it weren't for the flags, and it's really hurt them and really helped Roosevelt get some points.
And Roosevelt declined that penalty to keep it at 2nd and 11. Aberdeen had 7 penalties, only for 28 yards in that first half, but there was a lot of declined penalties for the Riders also, including that one right there, as it is 2nd and 11 for Aberdeen at the 32-yard line, as Huff is in the pistol. Stobner has his back at a little high snap, hand off to Stobner, and he is tackled after about a 1-yard gain. And it'll set up a 3rd and long, and Aberdeen has seen a lot of these in this game, and you just can't be having 3rd and long. They've taken a lot of shots downfield in these shots too, but you can't be getting 3rd and long in these games.
Right, and maybe they needed to start just throwing little short passes that might get, long run in the end, but there's just nothing going for Aberdeen so far in this game. A couple of touchdowns, that's about it. So we'll see what they do here.
As Huff takes the snap, looking and he's sacked. That's Joey Otta. Sacks him all the way back at the 25. That's a loss of about 8 yards, and it'll be 4th and 18. And Aberdeen has a 3-and-out in their first possession of the second half, and Tyler Tubigal will have to punt. As Tyler Tubigal has punted pretty well in this game, has made both his extra points, has punted well, has kicked off pretty well. He's got a decent leg for a high school kicker. As he'll punt the ball to Tyler Feldkamp, who's standing at about the 45-yard line. Roosevelt showing a little pressure here. They do give some. It's a decent punt there by Tubigal. Feldkamp will let it go, and he will let it down at the 49-yard line. And with 10:08 left in the third quarter, Roosevelt still has a 41-14 lead as they'll take over at their own 49-yard line. This offense scores 41 points in the first half. And I don't think they'll lay down lightly so far in this first half. They're just going to keep scoring and keep putting it on Aberdeen now.
Yeah, pedal to the metal. They're gonna do all that they can separate from Aberdeen.
And now Dan Aberdeen is first down with trips to his left. There's a fumble snap, and they just have to fall on it. It's going to be a loss of about 3 yards. It's a near disaster on the first play of the second half. And it'll be 2nd and 13 for Roosevelt from the 46-yard line. They did fumble one time in the second quarter, but then they were lucky to be able to fall on it because it was all the way back by their own 20-yard line. Could have been a disaster early in the second quarter, and that was when Aberdeen was somewhat hanging in the game as well. Roosevelt was able to fall on it, as now Dan Aberdeen is in the pistol. There's another option. Dan Aberdeen completely faked out the defense. Dan Aberdeen has a run, and he breaks some tackles. Brady Dan Aberdeen all the way up to the 22-yard line. That's a big 26-yard gain or 36-yard game, for Brady Dan Aberdeen. After he faked out the whole entire defense on that pitch, everybody thought he was pitching it over to Jaden Bourne. Kept it himself, took it all the way down to the 22. First down, Roosevelt. Jaden Bourne to his right. Roosevelt goes hurry up. He gives it to Bourne up the middle, cuts back. He's still going. Jaden Bourne has it all the way up to the about 5.5-yard line. 17, we'll mark him at the 6. So a 16-yard run by Jaden Bourne. That's what the first half has been. Hurry up, keep handing it off, and it's worked, and Aberdeen hasn't been able to stop it. So now Dan Aberdeen is in the shotgun. He hands it off to Bourne again, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So this Roosevelt offense, not a lot of teams have been able to stop them this year, but putting up 41 in the first half, they're already driving the clock, looking like they're going to score again.
Yeah, momentum is definitely on Roosevelt's side. It's going to be hard to stop them as the Golden Eagles, but you never know what can happen. It's football.
As Dan Aberdeen pitches it to Bourne, Bourne just has to scoop it up and get out of bounds. And that'll lose about a couple yards, and it'll set up third and goal from the 9-yard line for Roosevelt, needing 9 yards to get into the end zone. They'll mark him at the 9-yard line. As now Dan Aberdeen will need to make a play with his arm or his feet if he can run it in. He's got Tyler Feldkamp, Caden Jordan, and Jacob Betancourt to his right. He's got Mike Paulson to the left. That's Reese Potus, not Jacob Betancourt. And then he has Jaden Bourne in the backfield. As Dan Aberdeen takes the snap, he's looking right. He's got Feldkamp. Feldkamp breaks a tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, Roosevelt. Tyler Feldkamp reaches the end zone on the dive, and it's 47-14 as Roosevelt scores first in the second half. It's 47-14 with 8:37 remaining. As Bennett Yellowbird will come on and attempt the extra point. And I believe that's the first time. Yeah, that's the first time Tyler Feldkamp has been in the end zone and after all these touchdowns. That's good for Tyler Feldkamp to reach the end zone there, as he should have had a touchdown earlier that was dropped that turned into a field goal. So now Bennett Yellowbird will come in to attempt the extra point. And the PAT is good. And it's the 48-14 with 8:37 left. And here's an ad from the NFHS network. Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibilities, being a good role model, and it's about respect. And sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Scholastic Athletic Administrators Association. 8:37 left in the third quarter. It's Roosevelt 48, Aberdeen 14, and this game has been dominated by Roosevelt on every side of the ball except special teams. Aberdeen has had a lot of good returns, but that's about the only positives you can take of this performance by Aberdeen.
Yeah, and Aberdeen has shown a little bit of some good plays on offense and some good plays on defense. Just haven't found anything just to keep going off of, and this is something different.
There's a pitch back to Moore. Doesn't really work to try and cut back, but a busted play, and Aberdeen will take over at about the 12-yard line, and we'll have another long field. As now Huff comes back out for Aberdeen, just trying to look to get something going. It's 48-14. You got nothing to lose. You just kind of got to start flinging the ball around. Just hope. Get some turnovers on defense, but I mean, 48 points. They can't stop Roosevelt. It's already kind of over. 8:27 left. Roosevelt might start putting their backup quarterback, which I believe is Javon Duville. We saw him the first game of the season against Rapid City Stevens here, but it's been Dan and Brain playing the whole game since. As we'll see who will come in, assuming we will have a backup. As Huff takes a snap, Huff dumps it to Weber, and what a hit! Tyler Feldkamp with a big hit, showing it off on defense and offense, and Weber will get back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. As Feldkamp decided to step in with injuries of Joey Hughes, Joey Ostermeyer, and now Tucker Large. Joey Hughes is back and playing today. Joey Ostermeyer looks like he's playing on the sideline, but is not playing right now. And, yeah, Tucker Large, I saw him in shorts pre-game, so he's not dressed. So we'll find out what happened to him. I haven't really heard much at all about him. But anyway, 2nd and 10 for Aberdeen from their own 12. Huff in the shotgun takes the snap. Huff is pressured, and he's got a man wide open, and he overthrew Baker.
That could have been a huge play.
That could have been a long play. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 10. It was a missed play there as Baker was wide open on the wheel route down the sideline. Might have been able to take it all the way.
Yeah, that could have been a big play, and one of those plays where they can build something off of, get down the field, get the touchdown, maybe have a chance to win this thing or just go into overtime. Right now, they're just trying to find something that can go downfield, get a first down, just get the first downs, and right now it's not working.
As they're just going to throw a little short pass, missed coverage, and the ball is dropped. He was going for Christian Molson, and that's incomplete, and Aberdeen is going to be forced to punt again, and Tyler Feldkamp will be back to receive, unless, they're going to punt the ball as Huff is coming off the field. Another disappointing drive for Aberdeen as 2 3-and-outs to start the drive. Roosevelt had a touchdown to Tyler Feldkamp last drive, and this offense just keeps on rolling, and Roosevelt's going to hope that they can just keep this on going through who we assume Washington, but possibly Watertown next week, and then in the championship to O'Gorman or possibly Brandon, unless there's a couple of huge upsets, as there's a little skirmish down there by Isaac Oren and Brock Baker, but no flags, and Roosevelt will start the drive at the 35-yard line, and will look to put up 55 on Aberdeen and possibly even more. 7:41 in the third quarter. It's 48-14 Roosevelt. First down at the 35-yard line. Dan Emery's still in for now, but you got to think pretty soon, after a few more touchdowns, they're just going to bring in some subs, get them some playing time.
Right, and maybe even start thinking about it now. And Dan Emery sacked.
As Dan Emery was sacked for a loss of about 8, that went nowhere. He's trying to roll to his right. Looked like he was going to be a keeper, but it'll be 2nd and long for Roosevelt from the 43-yard line. And Dan Emery looking for calls, and you got to think after one touchdown, they'll probably bring in either Javon Duville or whoever they want to play at quarterback. They could really play anybody right now. They're in a good spot. They're up by a lot. As Danny Brady's in the shotgun, he takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Jaden Bourne. Jaden Bourne's got a hole. He cuts back to the right side. Jaden Bourne has a first down up to the 23-yard line. First down, Roosevelt. 20 yards from Jaden Bourne, which gives the Roosevelt Rough Riders a first down to the 23-yard line. As Jaden Bourne's broken a few big runs, as he's well over 100 yards now in this ball game. As Dan Brady has first down and 10 from the 23-yard line. He's got trips to his left and one receiver to his right. He's got Jaden Bourne again in the backfield. Dan Brain's in the shotgun from the 23-yard line. Dan Brain is going to hand it off to Bourne again. Bourne cuts back to the outside. Bourne is going to fight down to the 9.5-yard line as Jaden Bourne just keeps on fighting, keeps getting some more yards to keep this offense rolling.
He's been strong all game, and the offensive line definitely deserves credit for his great running. They have been blocking phenomenally, and it's really helped him get all these yards.
And now it's 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for Dannenberg, with trips to his left and Bourne in the backfield. He hands it off to Bourne again, and Bourne's going to be stopped at about the line of scrimmage. Keeps pushing, though, and Jane Bourne pushes forward for about 3 yards. Looked like it was going to be nothing, but got a big push from the offensive line, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Riders. Also look to punch in another touchdown in this game.
I think they should perhaps throw a little play action in. They've been running it so much. The defense might be able to bite on the play action. Don't know, though.
Yeah, they bought on the play action, first play of the game, which went 92 yards. Dannenberg's going to keep it, as again they fell for the fake, and Dannenberg is in for the rushing touchdown. Brady Dannenberg with his first rushing touchdown of the game. 2nd week in a row, and Roosevelt has a big 54-14 lead over the Aberdeen Eagles. As 5:40, this game was looking a little somewhat closer in the first quarter, but Roosevelt's third quarter is already broken away for 2 touchdowns. The second half, Benny Yellowbird on for the extra point to make this a 55-14 game.
Well, yeah, right now, if both teams are probably thinking about bringing out their backups, there's pretty much, I gotta say, no hope for this Eagles. These Eagles come back.
As the extra point is good by Bennett Yellowbird. 5:40 left. It's Roosevelt 55, Aberdeen 14. And here's the message from the NFHS network. It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window. It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game. It's the accountants, salesmen, and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee. It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet. It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program. It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day. It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice. What makes a high school sports team here in South Dakota so special? They do. You do. We all do. High school sports, it's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. 5:40 left in the third quarter. It's Roosevelt 55, Aberdeen 14. Vance Borger is off to kick it off to the Eagles, as Moore is going to return it, and he's going to cut to the left side, and he's not going to have much, as Presley Johnson was there first. And Aberdeen will start off this drive at their own 18-yard line. And another big thing is that they've had not good field position whatsoever at all in the second half. And now Aberdeen with Huff will get the ball at the 17-yard line they'll mark it at. And, yeah, field position has not been good for Aberdeen in the second half. First half, they were winning the field possession battle, but this half they've not had good field position at all.
Yeah, overall as a team, Roosevelt has just been good on special teams, defense, and offense. They haven't showed barely any weakness to this Aberdeen Golden Eagle team.
As Huff takes the snap and he hands it off to Hogg, and he gains about a yard up to the 18-yard line. And yeah, Aberdeen just have fun in these last quarter and a half, because your football season's about to end unless there's the biggest comeback in football history, which I don't think that will happen, just the way Roosevelt's been playing.
Yeah.
Next week should be a dogfight between Roosevelt and probably Washington. Game will be played at Howard Field, because assuming Roosevelt wins this ball game, as Huff gives it off to Hogg again, and Hogg is just stuffed in the backfield. There's just nothing for Aberdeen right now, as they haven't been able to run the ball, they haven't been able to throw the ball, they haven't been able to do anything really. So now it's going to be 3rd and 12 from their own 15. You almost feel bad for all these people coming in at 1-8, just trying to play. Hopefully make it somewhat of a game, and just Roosevelt's just hammered them. 55-14, 4:25 left. 3rd and 12 for Aberdeen from their own 15. As Huff is in the gun with Stabner to his right. Trips to his right. One receiver to his left. Huff takes a snap, dumps it off to Baker, and Baker is tackled right away. And it'll be yet another 3 and out. three and outs to start the second half for the Golden Eagles, and they're going to have to send out Tyler Two Eagle to punt again, as Tyler Feldkamp will be back to return the punt. And Roosevelt has a chance to make this a 62-14 game, which would be 48 points. Most I've ever seen Roosevelt score in a game is about 70. I don't know what the school high is. They could easily reach it here, though. They might not try to, but I don't know. They might bring in backups right now. It looks like Javon Duville is going to go in on the sideline, as Daniel Brayton does not have his helmet on. As Duville does have his helmet on, and it looks like, Javon Duville is likely going to come in, and yes, he is. Backup quarterback Javon Duville will come in for his second appearance this year, excuse me. As Daniel Brayton will probably take a seat for the rest of this game, just to, save him, keep him fresh, not injured. It looks like Jaden Bourne isn't even in the game either. Doesn't look like Tyler Feldkamp is in the game. Also, they're just burning in the backups. It's first down and 10 for Roosevelt from midfield. It's Tyree Nave in the backfield. And now that's an unsportsmanlike conduct on Aberdeen. It's just like, why? It's 55-14. Why are you trying to? It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me right now. And this is just emotional, probably, for Aberdeen.
Yeah, just frustration.
Yeah. Just can't control themselves.
Well, we'll just see what they do. Maybe they will pull off a few highlight plays. You never know. But, we'll see what both teams do. And I don't know. What do you think, Brent? What do you think about all this?
Well, this is definitely not good, as Javon Duville just almost fumbles the snap. Hands it off to Nave, who gets back to the line of scrimmage. But Aberdeen just needs to show some spirit and just needs to play hard in these last quarter and 3 minutes. And Roosevelt obviously is just going to try and run down the clock, get this game over with, head home. Because, hey, it's not Friday. We got school tomorrow. We got a game after us, too.
Yeah.
As Duville's in the shotgun with two receivers to his right and left. Tyree Nave to his right. As Presley Johnson's in motion, he hands it off to him. Presley Johnson gets a block from Tyree Nave. Presley Johnson cuts back and is going to have a first down all the way up to about the 17-yard line. First down Roosevelt as they're into the red zone. As they're about 17 yards away from scoring yet another touchdown, as they've outscored Aberdeen 14-0 in the third quarter. And if they score here 21-0, excuse me, unless they missed the PAT. But Duville's in the shotgun again. They haven't thrown the ball with him yet. As Tyree Nave is to his left, with trips to his left and one receiver to his right. Another high snap as the ball is handed off to Tyree Nave. Tyree Nave carries the ball all the way up to the 11 for 6 yards, and it's 2nd and 4 from the 11-yard line. As Tyree Nave has been a big part of this offense. He hasn't started at running back. He's gotten about 5, 6, 7 carries, though, behind Jaden Bourne. Is now going to take the lead back with Bourne sitting out for the rest of this game due to, just wanting to sit their starters in a blowout game. As Duville looking over to the sideline for the play. They have trips to their left and one to their right. Tyree Nave in the backfield with Duville in the shotgun. There's 10 seconds left on the play clock. 2nd down and 4. Duville will take the snap, hand it off to Tyree Nave. Tyree Nave up the middle. There's a flag back at about the 12. That'll likely get called back for a holding. Never mind. They just called it on the referee. Just signaled to it on Aberdeen, and we'll check in what the call is pretty soon. So there's an illegal hands to the face and a face mask on Aberdeen. and Roosevelt will have the ball at the Aberdeen 2-yard line for Javon Duville and company. As that's Cotman in motion, Duville in the shotgun, and Tyree Nave gets the ball up the middle and is going to be short at about the 1-yard line. And looks like there's a flag in the back of the end zone.
Looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct. The way it looked, one of the offensive linemen from Roosevelt was being pretty physical with one of the defensive linemen for Aberdeen.
We'll check in with the as an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on number 28, Alex Hotfinger, and number 63, Kurt Solberg for Roosevelt. Penalty's offset. It's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 1-yard line. As Duville's in the shotgun with Tyree Nave to his right, we expect another run here for Roosevelt. As Duville will take the snap, and Tyree Nave is stopped right away at the line of scrimmage. As that ball's all the way back to the 9-yard line. That's a loss of 8. They'll mark it at the 8-yard line, so a loss of 7 yards there. It looked like he was brought back a ways. They must have broke free, so they didn't give him the forward progress. Anyways, it'll be 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line for Roosevelt. As DeVille's in the shotgun with Tyree Nave to his right. We expect the first pass here for Javon DeVille. As DeVille takes the snap, there's a pass over to Presley Johnson, and it's wide. And that'll set up 4th down, and we'll see if Roosevelt will send out Bennett Yellowbird, the kicker, or if they will keep out the offense to go for it on 4th down. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there to go for it on 4th down. Kind of makes sense in a 55-14 game. There's really no reason to be kicking field goals right now.
Right, yeah. I mean, experiment and just have fun here. Let's see what Duville does. Takes it.
4th down
and it looked
option.
like an option, and he goes pretty much nowhere there. Yeah, just trying new things right now and see what happens. Obviously, nothing worked there. Now, bring out your secondary defense. Maybe even get a safety. Maybe. Probably not, but yeah, just try some new things. But all hope is pretty much lost for Aberdeen, and Roosevelt will most likely, probably definitely, advance.
Yeah, and Roosevelt will face the winner, assuming they can close out and hold a 41-point lead in a quarter. They'll face the winner of the Washington Warriors and the Watertown Arrows here at Howard Field next Friday night at 6 o'clock. As there's a handoff there to Carter Hogg, and he'll gain about, I'd say, 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and 6. And that will likely take us to the end of the 3rd quarter, unless they want to try and get a snap off, and yeah, they'll just take it to the sideline. And after the 3rd quarter, it's Roosevelt 55, Aberdeen 14. We'll be back in a moment. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Aberdeen Central on KLRN and the NFHS Network. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of high school football on KLRN and the NFHS network. My name is Brent Bowen and I am joined by Austin Merrill. Tonight's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. You can also watch this game anytime on the Howard Field YouTube channel. At the end of the third quarter, it's Roosevelt 55, Aberdeen 14. Aberdeen with the ball, 2nd and 6 at the 12-yard line. And now a penalty on Aberdeen, Roosevelt will make it 2nd and 1 for the 17. Third quarter stats is Brady Dannenbrink, 8 for 18 for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. Javon Duville is 0 for 1. Jaden Bourne is 21 rushes for 147 yards and a couple touchdowns. Feldkamp has 5 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. The Roosevelt defense has a forced fumble, and for Aberdeen, they have Austin Huff, 8 for 19 for 71 yards. Chris Weber has 4 carries for 41 yards, has 4 catches for 41 yards. For running, Dylan Stabner has 7 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. Carter Hogg has 7 carries for 2 yards and a touchdown. And Tyler Two Eagle has 6 punts for 212 yards. He has a 65-yard punt in this one. And Aberdeen has just gotten outplayed on everything. And that's a big hit. Wow. What a big hit there by Roosevelt. That was number 1 Tucker Wolf there on the hit. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for Aberdeen from the 20-yard line. 11:31 left, 55-14 Roosevelt. Aberdeen with the ball deep in their own territory. The Riders have 479 yards of offense through 3 quarters, compared to Aberdeen's 68 total yards, as Aberdeen with a 35-yard play and a 43-yard play, and that's basically, they've had negative yards other than that play. And there's Huff is going to have a screenplay to Baker. It's a trick play back to Huff, who makes the catch. He will be brought down by Tucker Wolf. That trick play goes for 5 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 25-yard line for Aberdeen. It's a pretty good trick play there. I mean, might as well throw it in. Last play of the game, or last game of the season. Yeah,
that was a pretty interesting play.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty decent play, though. They just didn't go really anywhere. 3rd and 5 for Aberdeen from their own 25. 10:50 remaining in this ball game. As Huff is in that formation, Stabner as the fullback. They'll pitch it over to Hogg. And Hogg gets the edge, and Hogg has his longest run of the night. He only had 2 rushing yards coming into this 4th quarter, with his longest being 3 yards, as he gets a good 10 yards there for Aberdeen first down.
Yeah, just halfway decent play there. Pretty decent. Get that first down. Feel a little bit of confidence.
And now Aberdeen has first down from the 35, and Aberdeen doesn't look like there's a whole ton of seniors on their roster. Austin Huff will be back for his senior year. Brock Baker is gone. Jackson Rolls is gone. Their kicker is back. They've got 6'8" Reese Burkhardt, who's only a sophomore, who will be back next year. Colton Hansen will be a senior. He's a pretty big kid too. So this team could be all right in the upcoming year, possibly, with their quarterback still returning. Dylan Stabner will still return for another year. Jacob Moore is gone, but we've seen him have some explosiveness now in this game, as it's 2nd down and 8 for Aberdeen from their own 37. As Huff is in the I formation with Hogg behind him. He play action to Hogg. He looks downfield towards Mekhi Jones. That ball is incomplete. There's no flag on the play, and it's 3rd and 8 from their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, just taking deep shots now, and almost was completed, but a little bit of a bobble there and a lot of contact towards the end. Jarred the ball out, and pretty decent pass there. Just couldn't finish it off.
Now it'll be 3rd and 8 for Aberdeen from their own 37 with Huff in the shotgun. and they'll have Lance Kopecky in the backfield. As Huff tries to scramble away, a missed tackle, and that ball is going to be incomplete. That missed tackle is by Amir Muhammad back in the backfield, and it'll be 4th down, and Aberdeen might go for this just because there's 9 minutes left. And looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the field. Yeah, they are going to keep the offense out on the field and try and get this conversion on 4th down. I don't really like it just because you have a shot to give Roosevelt another touchdown if they can go down the field and drive. But with Javon Duval, they haven't had a whole lot of success.
Well, at the same time, really, you're not going to come back from where they're at. So you take a chance. You play football. You want to score. So,
And Aberdeen's going to take their first time out of the half. And we'll be back after this advertisement from the NFHS network. Isn't it amazing, the sacrifice, the dedication, the grit? They really set an example, don't they? No question. Today's high school athletes are truly special. Not the athletes, the officials. Today's student athletes are truly special, but there is something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games too. Like the way they are giving back to their communities. Officiating is a great way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all, we need more qualified high school officials here in South Dakota, and without them, the rest of us will have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you. Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process. With 9:13 left in the 4th quarter, 4th and 8 for Aberdeen from their own 37th, 55-14 Roosevelt. A lot of this crowd is cleared out in a 55-14 game. As there's only a row left of Roosevelt students, as it's really cold here. Want to get home. Like I already said, we got school tomorrow. I mean, I'm lucky, I don't, but a lot of people do. As it's 4th down and 8. As we see a little trickery, and they're gonna run it. Couple trick plays. It's gonna run way short, but I don't know, kind of an interesting trick play here. As we saw Iowa, Minnesota. Look at that fake field goal, 4th and goal. They shovel it, run it to the right to the end zone, touchdown. So I guess that's what they were trying to do too. But turnover on downs, and Roosevelt will take over at the 41-yard line to look to score again and put up 60 on the Aberdeen Golden Eagles. 1st down, Javon Duval still in the game with trips to his right and a receiver to his left with Tyree Nave in the backfield. As Duval hands it off to Tyree Nave up the middle for only about a 2-yard gain. And it'll be 2nd and 8 for the 39-yard line. Under 9 minutes left to go in the game. Roosevelt doesn't really need to score here. Just trying to run down the clock. Use as much clock as possible and get out of here. Still got one game after us. Watertown at Sioux Falls, Washington. As the Arrows will look to come in here and upset the Washington Warriors to end the Warriors' 3-year streak of winning the state championship. Washington has won 6 games in a row after starting 1-2. They ended the season 7-2. As Duval takes the snap, throws it over to Johnson. Johnson's going to have a 1st down and way more, all the way up to the 26-yard line, 25-yard line, not way more, but 6 more. And it'll be 1st down for the Riders from the Aberdeen 25 as their offense just keeps rolling, even with Javon Duval in at quarterback.
Yeah, just still, even with the backups on the field, still doing great. And defense not really showing much right now. They just don't have a lot of hustle in their bustle, and it's just they've lost that fire and desire.
And now Duval takes the snap and hands it off to Tyree Nave, who's met right away. Tyree Nave will gain about a yard to the 24, and it'll be 2nd and 9 for Roosevelt. It's going to be about 7.5 minutes by the time the ball is next snapped. As Tyree Nave has gotten a decent amount of carries. As Tyree Nave only has 7 carries for 42 yards. for Roosevelt in this game. As Duvel is in the shotgun with Nave to his right, 2 receivers to his left and his right. As Duvel takes a snap, and he's being pressured, escapes trouble, but is sacked by the second guy. All the way back at the 28. That only loses about 4 yards, but it'll set up a 3rd and long for Roosevelt with 7 minutes remaining in this game. As the Aberdeen defense finally starting to show up here in the 4th quarter, finally when the backups are all in, as DeVille is now in the pistol on 3rd and 13. With Nave behind him. Javon Duvel takes the snap, another option to Nave, and that's not going anywhere. As Tyree Nave is going to lose about 6 there, as was a busted play from the start, and Roosevelt looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 19.
Yeah, Tyree Nave's been pretty shut down by this Golden Eagles defense so far in the second half. Just really hasn't been able to find anything in the running game, but this passing game has been pretty good.
As DeVille takes the snap, he's going to look downfield. That ball's incomplete, way out of the reach of, I believe he's going for Skylar Cotman. And Roosevelt will turn over on downs, and Aberdeen will start at their own 34-yard line. As the Golden Eagle offense is looking to get something going, maybe a touchdown last drive of the season. I don't know, just to end their season on a positive note.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aberdeen will get the ball at their own 33-yard line they're going to mark it at. And we'll see if Austin Huff is still in the game. And it doesn't look like he is. Looks like, can't tell who's in right now at quarterback. I believe that's number 14, Avery Bad Moccasin, in at quarterback. And it's going to be 2nd down from second down and 7 from the 36-yard line, as they've taken out Avery Huff from the game. As 5 minutes 30 seconds in this game, as they just want to take out their quarterback, give the backup some time. And that's a handoff, and that's going to be stuffed after a gain of about a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 from the 37-yard line. As that was number 15. No, that wasn't number 15. That was number 25, Chris Weber, on the carry. Going to set up 3rd and 6 from the 37-yard line.
Maybe for the Golden Eagles, maybe try to do a play action. See what that does. They haven't really been that variated with their plays tonight. And I think that's kind of hurt them. Here's a screen.
There's a screen to Mulsum, and he fights close to the 1st down.
Just short of the 1st down.
He's 4th down and about a yard for Aberdeen. At about the 42, they'll go for this here. There's going to be about 4 minutes left, as the clock just has rolled the whole entire 4th quarter. Hasn't even stopped, really. As 4:15 remaining, Aberdeen with the ball at their own 42-yard line. It's 4th down. Let's see what they do. And they will hand it off, and he's stuffed at the line. They tried to run it to Stephen Moo, but he was stopped, and that's a turnover on downs for the Roosevelt Rough Rider offense. And we'll be right back after this ad from NHS Network. Let's be real. The odds of a high school athlete getting a college scholarship and making it to the pros are very slim. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to dream of becoming a pro athlete, even a famous one, but that's not why I play. My reason why I love competition, my reason why is community, my reason why is leadership, my reason why is to challenge myself, my reason why is the love for the game. And hey, we don't make to the pros or on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's okay, because there's every to believe we excel in something even bigger than sports. We'll excel in life. There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports. Tell us your reason by using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy. This message presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Under 4 minutes remaining. It's 55-14 Roosevelt as they just got the first down to the 28-yard line. As Javon Duval remains quarterback. As now they have new running back number 41, Dan Mamotic, into the game at running back. Now that they've definitely started a lot of different kids. As Mamotic gets the carry there. And carries the ball all the way up to the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Roosevelt offense as we approach under 3 minutes remaining. As Aberdeen will try and look for a hold here. Not give up 60. But Javon Duval's in the pistol with Brody Erickson behind him in the backfield. Or not behind him anymore, but to his right. As Javon Duval takes the snap, hands it off to Brody Erickson, and Brody Erickson will get up to about the 21-yard line. Will gain 2 yards, and that'll set up a 3rd and 3 from the 21-yard line. With 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. As Dan Mamotic will come back into the game, as defense probably won't come back on here. It's 2:30 remaining. Offense will probably just try and keep the ball the rest of this ball game. 3rd and 4 from the 22-yard line. Javon Duval is in the shotgun. We might see him throw again for like the 3rd time this game. Duval takes the snap. He's going to run it. Cuts back to the outside. Javon Duval is going to be down at about the 20. That'll gain about a yard or 2, and that'll set up a 4th and 2 from the 20-yard line, and we'll probably see Roosevelt go for this here. No reason to kick it or punt it. 1:55 remaining here at Howard Wood Field. 55-14 Riders. 1:50 remaining. 4th and 2. As Javon Duval is in the shotgun with 2 receivers to his right and his left. Brody Erickson is the back. As Duval will have man in motion, and he'll give it to him. That's number 86. That's Cody Topple. Cody Topple goes all the way down, and he is down at about the 1-yard line as Topple had the carry, had the edge, and almost got in, and he's down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for Roosevelt at the 1-yard line. As Duval will stay in with Dan Mamotic as the back. 1:23 remaining left in this ball game. So we had a change in numbers here. We had a different kid wearing 66, which is usually Ben Cole's number. And it looks like, yeah, Roosevelt's going to take a knee. Good sportsmanship here. Not to put it on Aberdeen even more. Not to put up another touchdown. Just, you've already blown them out. You don't need to score another touchdown to make it even worse. Aberdeen knows they've already gotten blown out. You don't need to make it even worse. 54 seconds left. Roosevelt will take it under 40 seconds and knee it one more time. As Javon Duval will knee one more time in the next couple seconds. Might run it all the way down. Roosevelt still has all 3 timeouts, but they're not going to need them. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. We expect another knee from Duval. 8 seconds on the play clock. Duval will take the knee at the 3-4-yard line. And with tonight's win, top-seeded Sioux Falls Roosevelt advances to the semifinal round of the Class 11 AAA playoffs against the winner of the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors and the Watertown Arrows game. The Rough Riders improved to an 8-2 record overall. With tonight's loss, Aberdeen Central finishes the 2018 season with a 1-9 record. Once again, Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders defeat Aberdeen 55-14. This activity was brought to you by this station, its advertisers, and the member schools of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. No rebroadcast in whole or in part may be made without the written permission of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. For Austin Merrill, producer Matt May, I'm Britton Bowen. Thank you for watching this presentation.